What made you lose respect for someone? I just recently cut a long-time friend from my life after realizing how many times he was never there to help me in a time of need despite having no reason to say no, all while I spent years bending over backwards to help him every time he asked. You're a shit friend, Alex. I lose respect for anyone who tells me I need to date people I'm not attracted to then proceed to bully me for it. I'm sorry I'm a lesbian who's not attracted to trans people. I'm sorry I'm a lesbian who's not attracted to lesbians that are as fat as I once was. I don't need a constant reminder of how unhealthy my life was when trying to date a lesbian. I'm sorry I'm not attracted to lesbians who try to fit into a lesbian label. I find trying to conform to what a label expects of someone in the name of trying to fit in a bit of a turn-off. Especially assuming a woman is one when she's clearly not. Physical attraction is something some of us have to have when searching for a girlfriend. For many of us, it's not a light switch like it apparently is for some members of the alphabet community. If someone cannot respect that, there's no way in hell I'm going to ever respect them in any way, shape, or form. Someone I know recently told me how he got a free $400 item from the store. He had ordered something for curbside pickup and apparently the girl forgot to scan that he picked up the item. He got a call several days later asking if he still wanted the item, otherwise they would cancel his order and refund him. He didn't tell them he had already picked it up, instead he told them that he no longer needed the item and just to refund him, please. I know stealing from a store is looked down on less than stealing from other people oftentimes, but it still showed a major lack of integrity to me, and I lost a lot of respect for him. My mom refuses to take my emotions seriously. She's a hypocrite, because every little stupid thing she gets pissed at it's justified in her head. But NY emotions? Oh, get the fuck over it. Sorry I don't like you treating me like shit while you want to be treated like a queen. It don't fucking work like that. So now I don't show any respect for her feelings, and oh boy. It's been an interesting few weeks. I mean it's a given, but my father being a hateful, sexist, racist, alcoholic with anger issues who only cared about work, really drives me to care and understand all people. Situations like that push me to be the best person I can be to friends, family, and my future children. I know the hurt I went through dealing with that and I'll never put my future children through that. He went over my brother's hammered a few months back and started talking bad about him, his friends, and the work he was doing. My brother kicked him out. Now for whatever reason thinks my brother owes him an apology. Mind you, my brother is also due to have his first child, the first one of all us siblings, in 3 weeks. It was a massive slap in the face that I threw him a diaper party and my father didn't show up. Having to explain to my father's friends and my family where he was and listen to them talk bad about him hurt. I'd completely cut him out of my life if it weren't for my mother being stuck there in that living situation. People in denial here calling wanton selfishness and disregard of a modicum decency things like cheap or a good mate, but when I found out he voted for Trump, respect, gone. It's not coming back, either. They made my friend depressed for a week and never forgave him. My other friend did nothing but also pretended to be a victim. After that day I lost all respect for each of them now, but I am better without them. When I was stranded with a shredded tire on the side of a state highway with my grandmother, and my sibling didn't want to drive to pick us up, about a 30 to 45 minute drive, because they were hanging with friends, not drinking BTW. We were told there wasn't enough room in the tow truck for both me and my grandmother, so I was trying to secure a ride for her. Had mental girlfriend broke up, then she cries at front door and they got back together. This was live on camera. They were dishonest. Lies. This guy was a mutual friend of me and an ex who I was with for 6 years. After me and my ex broke up I was still buying weed off him every now and then, and he insisted on hanging out more, just the two of us, because he said people are idiots who think guys and girls can't just be friends. It was nice for a while, but eventually his real personality and motives revealed themselves. Like I said, I was unhappy with my weight. He told me when I was skinny when he met me that I was super hot back then, like that helps bro. Or when I came out to him as a lesbian and he said some weird shit like, I think you're making that decision too fast, you just need a more manly guy. And that's you, is it? Or when I realized like he was this 40-something-year-old guy pretending he was so wise and together, but in reality he had no stable job, lived in his mother's house whilst she lived abroad, and constantly chased 20-year-old girls who he treated like they were his mother, which none of the girls were with an older man for obviously. The final straw was when we went swimming at him and his girlfriend's secret spot, which made me feel uncomfortable enough seeing as he only told me that when we got there, and when I was trying to put my bra back on, his dog kept running in front of me and he kept following for no reason and trying to sneak a peek at me as I kept having to turn away from him. You're the reason people think guys and girls can't be friends, Marco, you turd. A very intelligent man I know would occasionally post just obey the police and you won't get hurt variances on Facebook. He would get commented videos / clips showing that wasn't true and would still occasionally repost the same comment. When they bold-face lied to my face numerous times after me trying to keep them in a stable house and family while they went off to fuck around and still use drugs. I even got all charges dropped for past offenses so he could have a clean slate. I got repaid by saying I was the worst thing that happened to him and the girl who abused him and got him back on drugs, which I paid $6,000 in methadone treatment to try and stop. Got thanked for standing by him the whole year. Wow. Just made me lose hope for most of humanity. I'll never be a codependent idiot again. Ever. My heart and my soul are ripped out of me when they start rudely swearing at you when you try to be nice and helpful. I never respected him, but then he decided to put children in cages and tried and failed to build a wall. My friend in college talked so much shit behind people's backs. And one time I heard him talking about me. My little respect I had for the kid diminished to nothing. Fuck that kid. Friends of 20+ years that I grew up with selected me to run a guild in WoW Classic. Become extremely successful, maybe too successful. Friends wanted more privileges than their incompetency. I obliged because they are my friends. Big mistake. They tried to kick others out that were competition. I tried to not let them kick people for stupid reasons, went behind my back and decided to all destroy the guild when I was offline and make their own guild, that then failed miserably because well, they were toxic. Lost all respect and no longer talk to them. And #X200B. People rise to the level of their incompetency. Never give people responsibilities they aren't equipped to handle. We were pregnant with our first kids and she yelled at me because I was planning on returning to my super fun high-paying VP job after maternity leave and my husband was going to stay home with the baby. This was 28 years ago. My husband is/was/always will be a baby whisperer. He stayed home for 5 years, we had a surprise baby 2 years after the first, and it was fabulous. She and I have not spoken since. Playing off of someone's fears and insecurities to gain their attention, not caring whether it was good or bad attention, using their cousin. One of my good friends at the end of HS came out as trans FTM and gave me permission to tell my best friend at the time if I wanted, mainly for name use purposes. While I knew my best friend came from a more closed background and wasn't very familiar or used to the LGBTQ community, I figured she respected my friend enough to be happy for him. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have told her, even with permission, but he did change his name on FB so it would have come out to her eventually, I guess. However, once I told her my friend's new name etc., she told me she refused to refer to him by that name and that she just felt uncomfortable. I unfortunately stayed friends with her for a few years after that, but it was a catalyst towards the end of the friendship and I lost a huge amount of respect after that moment. I have never lost respect for anyone. I am the one who gives and gives and gives only to be taken from or screwed over time and time again. That doesn't stop me from still being the person that in spite of all that doesn't give up on anyone or treat anyone a different way. We all have our own battles that we're fighting. If this world realized that more and gave more love and peace and happiness, we wouldn't be where we're at in this world today. So I don't know, that's my opinion. Everybody the same, and I don't lose respect for anybody no matter what they've done. God bless you people. I'm really mean that there are so many people, kids that are unloved and unwanted, and those people should just be sterilized. This is pretty short, but this kid I knew in the 5th grade would bring younger kids to the bathroom and would do some messed up stuff to them, but now that I realized what happened, I have lost respect and will not respect him ever.